Hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. I've been hanging out with my robotic spider, building a bunch of cool stuff and kind of just getting around, doing a couple of things, getting ready to go to the next planet. So, last time we discussed a little bit about some random stuff. I do apologize, it's kind of, rambled and trambled and did the normal that I usually do. I did go ahead and at least build a new, well, let me put it like this. I consolidated all of the iron ore smelting that we had all over the place outside, well, iron ore to plate smelting we had all over the place. Let's do this so we can actually not see everything quite red. Added in a new iron ore collections facility up here, and we now have a system that is capable of making a lot of iron plate a minute. And by a lot, I mean it's 160 times what? 4, I believe was what the number was. So something like 640 iron plates per second when it's running. So it's fairly good. Anyhow, we're up to now pulling in 4 cars per minute, and 4 cars per minute, four cars of iron ore per run, and depending on whether we're feeding the circuit system or the regular base system, we now have 2 collection points so that we can actually get a decent amount of iron in. But yes, circuits are still running. The 3-car system and this area main base is currently running 4 cars to be able to produce all of the iron. We were doing 4 lanes of iron. I was just splitting 3 into 4, and now it doesn't really seem to matter too much. Why don't you go get a fresh load and stop staring at that? Anyhow, those are taking care of all that kind of stuff. Everything is working reasonably well. I know I kind of got into that sidetrack mode where I was talking about doing some stuff about these using the, what the heck are these things called? The electromagnetic plants. I am probably going to go in and redesign this simple system so that we can use the electromagnetic plant so that we can continue to do things as efficiently as possible. Because as we see, I am not necessarily doing the greatest job in the world. We're still using the blue assemblers, and we're still using the module Mark 3s or Mark 2s, although some of these are set up a little differently. We do need to go through and redesign this, and I'm honestly going to probably say I'm going to move it out of this corner, just because I want to be able to build one somewhere and then rip this out and just throw a lot of that stuff away. So I have been upgrading a lot of the mining in the area as well to the larger miners. So we've got a bunch of large miners going in here. Large miners natively stack the ores onto the belts. So you're good to, I would suggest highly to go towards them as soon as you get them, because we're now putting a lot of throughput onto these belts right now. So it's really good. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. Yes, I'm not using the stack inserters down here. I'd rather just use the regular large inserters. They're doing just fine. All of those things go, and yes, these labs are fantastic. So to update on science, keeping getting a little bit of willy woggly in here, and I think it's just because of the fact we're doing electromagnetic science right now, which I'm not making a massive amount of. But I have gone ahead and shut off the science on Gleba. We're no longer producing any of the agricultural science because I don't have a want, need, nor care for what's past this. Everything that was on Gleba, at least up until now, aside from us and everything else, was moved to at least 100% efficiency. So we've added 100% productivity on top of everything that we were making normally. I may go back and work on the asteroid productivity depending on how long we plan on playing this, but I think for right now we're good to move on and do some of the things like advance our worker robot speed a little bit, or maybe get a little bit more productivity on our miners, or stuff that's not time dependent and kind of a pain in the butt to play with. This system I've had, well, excuse me, dang, I did it again. This area continues to gather and garner problems with the bugs here. So I've kind of just, like I said, I kind of want to just turn it off and let the spore count kind of die back for a little while, because I'm tired of coming over here and playing around with these things. I could easily just, I don't know why I'm doing that. I could easily just bring in a few things and we could have, rocket launchers and stuff all over the place that would take care of those. The problem is rocket launchers tend to destroy anything that they land at. So, and yes, we do have rocket launchers because you do have to put rocket launchers in your spiders. So, yeah, once again, very much enjoying the Spidertrons. Fulgora, before we get anything silly here, We've used up, cleaned up all of the rare materials outside of the solid fuel and are now slowly producing epic stuff from wherever we can go. To the point again, like I said, we're producing some base stuff here where we're hauling in copper and iron ore and producing it through these foundries so that they can kind of just do whatever they can do. It is a very, very slow process considering that what we need is basic stuff. I mean, I need basic iron ore and basic iron ore and for that matter, I guess I could be doing that from the top. We could probably put some stuff up in top from the Fulgora mining platform. I guess I could be putting quality modules up here, but then I would have to deal with the fact that I would be getting quality that I didn't want. So again, it's at a level that I'm working with it. It's fine, and all I'm really after again at this point is to be able to build out our nice little platforms with some reasonably usable stuff so that they're okay. So, to that point, we have a new friend. I have brought in the Endurance. The Endurance is going to be a similar model to these that we already have set up. So it's going to look similar to this particular model. However, we've extended the front and we've changed the back up. So let's check this one out a little bit. All right. So before we look at the front, the back, I have rotated the fuel production area. The reasoning why I've rotated it is because I need access to the water. We need access to water, and we need to be able to do a few things. I've doubled up on the foundries producing iron plates now, and we've moved up forward to the point that we're now producing the things that we need in order to be able to make rockets. We have to be able to make rockets in order to be able to go to, where is it? In order to be able to go to Aquilo. So for those of you that want to know how, and this is something that I've, recently was pointed out to me at a live stream I was watching, somebody, I forget exactly who it was. If you want to know what your challenges are when you're going in between planets, they tell you. Now, big metallic asteroids, this is the first time we're going to get to see them, is between Fulgora and Aquilo and Gleba and Aquilo. So once you get outside of the orbit of Fulgora, you're going to start seeing a small amount of big metallic asteroids. So if we go, big asteroids, period. So if we click on here, we can see the blue line, that light blue line down there. At about 27,000 kilometers, or just before we get to Aquilo, we're going to run into the big asteroids for pretty much all of them. Big oxide asteroids, apparently there's going to be quite a few of them. So we'll probably have to worry about that. Because of that, again, I have gone in and added 3 turrets. Now, what I'm going to probably do with this particular platform is I might pull that center engine out of it and let it fly kind of slowly once we get over there to kind of play with this, because we're going to have to see how well this is going to work. I'm not making an awful lot of rockets. I'm not happy about the fact that I'm not making an awful lot of rockets, but again, if one rocket is enough, like 1 or 2 rockets is enough to take out those small amounts of large asteroids, the big asteroids, then we should be okay. So all 3 of these have interlapping lanes of fire. Anything as far as what should happen, hopefully, we shouldn't have any large stuff get around us. So as long as one of them can manage to target the issue, then we should be good to go. If need be, I can remove these solar panels right here, or say like one of those right there, and deliver another rocket right here if I need to. But I'm hoping if we just slow this down a little bit, if we need to. This one should be reasonably slower. It's 376 tons compared to the next largest one, which is 326. So we've gained a decent amount, which means theoretically it should slow down. We'll see what happens. So I've already dumped my inventory. I'm going to go jump into it. I've flown it around just to make sure that we filled it full of all the goodies that it needed to be filled up with. But let us take a ride to a new planet and check out the frozen wasteland that is Aquilo. Alrighty, drop in here. I have gone, give me back control of it. I've gone ahead and loaded it up with a reasonable amount of stuff as well, so we have some parts pieces like we've always done. Plus, I'm bringing all of the parts I need to be able to build a silo and the first rocket to get it out of there. So if something does crazily happen, we should be able to get off the planet. At least I hope we'll be able to get off the planet. So one thing I have been doing is I've been collecting carbon. Aquilo, before we leave, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and head that direction. Add station. We have to go to either Gleba or Fulgora, so let's just go to Fulgora first, and you can go there. Go ahead. We're flying. We're flying. All right. This one should be a little slower. Like I said, it should be about 10-ish kilometers a second slower than the other ones. And if I think what I might do is I might, like I said, blow that center engine out, or what I might do is take maybe one of these outside ones off. Essentially what we need to do, and what's interesting for the production of asteroids, is that the faster you fly, the more the game will spawn asteroids. So if you're going slower, you won't have nearly as many spawns. To the point, like saying, we're flying right now. I can stop the thrust. We're going to slow way, 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 way down, but because we're moving in a direction in between planets, it will slow down the spawn rate and give us a little bit of time. You can kind of see how, like, we're in between areas. This is where we stopped. Notice how this has slowed up quite a bit. So if you're having problems, or if you're running into an issue, or you ran out of stuff, or you're scared, stop the thrust. The continued forward motion will be about 10 kilometers a second, which will allow you to either catch up on, well, stuff or whatever, and away you go. So I've also gone into the rocket turrets and told them that all I want them to do is target the huge stuff. So they shouldn't mess with anything else. But anyhow, onwards, forwards. So one of the reasons why I'm collecting carbon, especially, will be mainly because it's carbon, is because it's easy to get a hold of, is that we're going to need to be able to heat our equipment, our area, our stuff when we get there. So I'm bringing some heating towers along and some heat pipes and a bunch of steam turbines, and I'm going to use the carbon, use the ships, I guess, as carbon collection for now, so that we should be able to produce a reasonable amount of fuel to get there. I'm a little concerned, again, that we're going to have a problem, because I'm not certain I have enough firepower to deal with these things. Okay, well, things seem to have caught up. I kind of let it sit here a second. Let's see what we can't do about not getting murdered going to the next location. So I'm going to pull that engine out just because I want to slow her down a little, and I want to just watch and see what happens here. So Fulgora, done. Add station, Aquilo, please don't die. You need to make sure you get your stuff set up correctly when you do these. So anytime now, we should start seeing big stuff show up. There's one right there. 2 shots. Okay, that's what I was wondering, is how many shots. We still don't need it. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay. Big one ahead. Shoot it. Alright, cool. Now, I'm not expecting this thing to be super duper awesome. I'm literally going to expect it to be very slow and sucky to get us to wherever we need to go. What we may need to do is move those things well inboard so that they're all right here. Nice. Good deal. I'll mess with that in a second. I just want to make sure they have enough time to shoot and not smash the crap out of our poor little platform. And I may end up deciding to rework this so that we'll actually make the higher dollar explosive ones the little bit better ones. I mean, like, these have explosion 10% damage too. So we'll see. I know, quit blinking at me. It's fine. Wow, there's a bunch of them. Holy cow. Please make power. Please keep making power. I might need to make this ship bigger because we're about out of power, but keep doing it. Shoot, 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 shoot. We're almost there. And... nice. We are at Aquilo. So does that mean I'm now going to forever have to deal with those things? Now, if we're sitting still, I'm wondering whether or not I can actually demolish it with... I have one before you guys shoot it to pieces. So, looking at its resistances, it is 10% to explosion and 10% to physical. Whereas these are 10 and 30. Okay, so good. Those are designed to be getting shot. Yeah, I know we're gonna be screwed. She's gonna be out of power because I don't have a lot of power. But we'll let everything kind of catch up for a second here. And I'm going to, I guess, jump off this thing and see what we get to see. Hello, frozen ice planet. Lovely. And I has my stuff. You give me the thing. Where is it? Cargo landing pad. Drop that, please. Yeah, we may end up having it. This one may end up needing to do the trip back and forth, and it may end up having to become a thing that gets ran with something other than solar panels. We may have to start seriously thinking about building a ship that has a frustratingly large amount of stuff. So we'll see. Did I just get landed on by that thing? Interesting. Okay, so we do get oil, crude oil, good deal. That means I didn't bring pump jacks. That means I'm going to have to go back and get pump jacks. And when they meant it was this, that's all that's here. What's in this? Oh, I need you guys to do this. Well, never mind. Just do this. What is it? So we get ice platform, ice, and lithium. Okay. Alright, we got that part. I guess we needed to mine some lithium. Let's keep mining for a minute here, and then I'll send the... I'm assuming this thing doesn't like being cold. Maybe. I don't know. Dump stuff. Okay, so that is done. That means we need to craft a lithium plate. How I craft lithium plate. Lithium plate is crafted in a chemical plant or a cryogenic plant using... Oh, no, it's just a furnace. Oh, great. I didn't bring any furnaces. And then I need to ship holmium plate over here. Lovely. Oh, well, I'm glad. I was going to say we're probably going to use Fulgora to feed this. Amazing. Alrighty, well, kind of in between screwing around there. I don't know where we're going to cut this in at because I kind of had to make a decision to turn things around really quickly. The orbit around Aquilo does not have a very lot amount of anything that it takes in order to keep the rockets working. So we needed to move, and I've been kind of slowly eking this poor thing back to Fulgora so we can at least possibly think about rebuilding it at a place where I can rebuild it. So it's definitely going to need some fine-tuning. This is not enough to be able to make what we need, and like I said, the orbit around Aquilo is mostly these things. So yeah, that kind of sucks. That's really kind of hard to build rockets when you need to be able to shoot the rockets and things and stuff. We're gonna test this again. I've done a little bit of rework to this poor little thing because it didn't have enough endurance. We should be able to maybe live a little bit better. I went ahead and moved the rockets to the very center of the ship and stretched a few things out and got a little bit more solar going, and she slowed down a lot. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna do a little bit of a look-see around. I went ahead and adjusted a couple of other things. Let's go ahead and finish throwing off some excess stuff that we brought back over here. And we'll drop down onto the actual area. I have not done a thing outside of just kind of flying around in circles, trying to see if we had anything bigger to play with. And unfortunately, it looks like we have lots of oil, plenty of oil, lots and lots and lots of oil, but no landmass at all. So this is going to be fun. Apparently, the first thing we're going to care about the most is landmass, which means I probably should start pumping down all of that ice and stuff that we're losing upstairs. My biggest concern right now is there's not an awful lot of stuff out here. And yeah, I'm a little worried that I may need to build, we may need to, depending on how this works, might need to build the turrets, the rocket turrets down a little further, at least one back here in case something silly happens. So we'll see how that all goes while this is working. If nothing else, it made it back over here after having a few slight adjustments to it. But the I need you guys to stop shooting those things. Stop. Quit wasting your bullets on something you can't blow up. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to put some rockets somewhere along the back of here because I just had to move away from this one that was headed towards the back of this guy. What we're going to be doing with this for right now is it's pretty much just going to be shuttling parts and usable things between here and Fulgora, I should say Fulgora, and here. We needed a couple of extra things that we didn't have, and I kind of screwed up and didn't send them. So now we have at least the pump jacks and the stuff like that we're going to need, because that's going to be what's going to be produced here. The biggest issue I can already see is that this planet is not going to have a whole heck of a lot of usable stuff for us right off, meaning our biggest goal, I guess, is going to be trying to keep as much of these going as possible, which means I need to be reprocessing all of the ice that I can, I guess, at this point. So I'm going to be changing this to this, and we're just going to be reprocessing ice into other things because we need the iron and we need the coal, or the carbon. So we'll see how this all goes. I may have to put another one of these in down here just to reprocess all of the ice that we're accumulating. There is a lot of it. So that might be a thing. Of course, I'm throwing away probably too much as it is. Let's hang on to 80 of those, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I may end up having to put a couple more of these down here. I was concerned that this was going to be one of those kinds of deals. This particular ship may not sit here very long while we do this. We may end up needing to completely rebuild it. But I'm going to go ahead and dump everything else off that I didn't get dumped off the last time we came through here because it was getting the snot beat out of it. I mean, for the most part, we've got the backside covered. I mean, I could probably scoot one of these down a little further and, you know, get it like here. I've done a kind of a loop because we don't have chests to be able to store stuff, so that's going to hopefully try to help things out a little bit. But yeah, the iron is just disappearing because we don't have any. Everything out here, for the most part, is going to be these things. Lots and lots and lots of oxide chunks, although that should produce a reasonable amount of stuff for us. More things there. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to make this work right now, but it's going to definitely require me to be moving it back and forth between the two locations that we're at. So, let's see. Can you give me all of those so that we have some fuel to burn? And just try not to get beat up, please. That one might miss. We'll have to watch. Okay. Yeah, I may end up having to just put a couple of rockets turrets back here somewhere, just like maybe one or two back here, and then just self-feed them with some of the rockets that we have. Just fill them full of 100 rockets or something like that, and then go from there. I don't know. We'll see. So we are on the face of this planet here, and unfortunately, this is the biggest area that we have. In order to be able to make more surface area, we need to have to craft more ice platform. And ice platform, I believe, if I read the numbers, means that I can do a few things. Platform, ice platform, it's a stable floating platform of ice. So basically, we're building our own big iceberg. It requires ice and ammonia and a little bit of crafting time. But the thing is we also have to put a layer of concrete or other heat-resistant material on top of it. So I've sent a bunch of concrete over. So if we want to build anything here, we have to cover the surface with this stuff, which means, again, all we're going to be doing, looks like, is transporting things between two different locations until I can get a reasonable surface area built to actually do anything. So I'm going to probably go ahead and just start working on this. And yeah, I don't know. Pretty much, yeah, I don't know. I love this. Pretty much what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this leftover ice. I'm going to get a little bit of power going out here, so hopefully we can stick something right down here in the middle, and we should be able to go from there. I am going to be sending this thing back just as soon as I know I have enough bullets. Go back to Fulgora before you end up stuck. So all it's going to do is run back and forth very slowly between Fulgora and Aquilo while we slowly build up the area here. So let's see, can we get anything done? Did I get everything out of here I wanted? Yes, good deal. Give me all of this stuff. I got a bunch of lithium and a bunch of other goodness and all those kinds of things. Please empty because I want them. I know I guess I could do this, dummy. Do that. There you go. Good. So I need to place down concrete before I get excited. Before I get excited, make the thing and then use the concrete. Okay, so we should be able to make us a platform here so that we don't melt our surface. Can I mine these? 1 second. Down, just put that right there. Okay, let's see. Can I... we need to be able to make a little bit of power, so I think what we'll do is we're going to go grab one of these, and we'll start with you. All of this is nothing. All right, I want to make sure that I have the... where did it go? This dude right here, cargo landing pad. I guess I'll place it in the corner here. You're going to be requesting all of the time leftover of the carbon that we should be getting as this thing wanders between two locations. We're not out of rounds yet. I'm just hoping that that loop right there is enough to keep this fed for 2 runs in between. So I'll probably end up just designing it so that it sits over there. We'll have the system here look at this belt and see how many rockets are on it, and then go from there. If it'll be allowed to leave once we know we have enough rockets and enough bullets, and then we should be okay to be fine here. It's going to take its sweet time getting back and forth, but definitely slowing it down helped by not throwing by not having to deal so much damage so quickly. Anyhow, let's get this going really quickly. So this is going to be requesting, though, no, you're going to be requesting like 1,000 of those. Keep those going. You also have, let me see, where is the things? I want a couple of these on the back of here. So we do have to build it on concrete. Okay. Oh, so like some of this isn't ice. Is that what you're telling me? Some of this is not ice, some of this... Can I pick this stuff back up? No. Okay, well that's good to know. Alright, so that'll work there. We've got plenty of space to store stuff. Let's start thinking about getting a little bit of power and help going. So I want at least, what did we say? Gleba, tell me what we got last time. Gleba, map. I want, so it's roughly an approximation of that. Okay. So if I put one of those right like that, and I grab this. Oh, I don't have any of those damn things. Endurance. We need some of those, please. Might have to build a few more of these, too. Okay, anyhow, that should, if I do this with a, well, once we get there, just give it one of these. You just have some of those and warm things up. Okay. That's what I was wondering, was whether or not that, how far do we gotta go? How hot do we have to be? So do we have to be 32C to make this work? Probably. Which means this is gonna take a while. Okay. Very cool. Alright. So then my question is once we put heat into this stuff, is it gonna be happier? Alright, well it made a bye-bye trip. We've gone through, we've gone and done a couple of things. Alright, so now we're back. You should have delivered or will be delivering a bunch of goodies to us so that we can place those down, and then I want to see what happens. I know I need water. Water is going to be ice. Ice is going to be one of those things. Somehow I'm going to have to make this all work. We're going to have to actually start collecting some ice from you, which means I'm going to have to do a little bit of magic in here as well. Alright, so on the surface, I want all of the ice too. I'm assuming there's some way we can get ice from this location, but now I'm wondering, hey, let me out. Do these count? Will they warm up? Oh, come on, guys, that's ridiculous. Okay, well, let me see. That's going to be there. So if I do, for giggles, I need a single one of these plugged in right there. And then I'm going to need to make ice out of this, ice to water, and then you can just have some. And you give me one of those spare solar panels real quick. Just give me all of those. And this needs to keep warming up. Go ahead and throw 20 of those in there. Just for now. We need to get that up to temperature. So if I grab one of these and do this with it. Alright, so water, temperature's coming up. As soon as this thing gets over 500 degrees, which should be good, my friend. 500. 500. So I'm going to have to wrap those around and thaw that out, is what you're telling me. That makes no sense. Well, that's nice to know. Now I know I need to redecorate and redo all of this mess. I think for now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give it a while. I'm going to have to spend a fair amount of time building various things. I think the first thing we're probably going to try to do is actually go ahead and get a little bit of landfill going, or whatever the heck they call that, but that will be in between episodes. This has already taken longer than I expected, and of course, it's going to take even longer based on the way this is going to work, or at least the way that it looks like it's going to work. So I'm going to have to rejig, rebuild, and redo a whole bunch of things, and I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it on a different planet and blueprint it and bring it back. But I guess for now, we're on Aquilo. Hopefully by the time I see you guys next, we will have at least a reasonable amount of infrastructure built so that I can actually do something with this planet. So until then, I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.